A last chorus for Your Ears Only. I'm David Alpern.
I'm Catherine Herzog with this news quote. The dignity we seek in dying must be found in the dignity with which we have lived. That was the conclusion of the award-winning 1996 book How We Die by Dr. Sherwin Nuland, who died himself last week at age 83. Now this.
If I loved you, words wouldn't come in an easy way. Round in circles I'd go.
She landed her first Broadway role by happenstance in a show by two men whose names she says she didn't even know, Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein's South Pacific. Shirley Jones went on to fame on film in their musicals Oklahoma and Carousel. Later, she starred as the singing mom in TV's Partridge Family. But despite her bright gold and Hammerstein image, Jones was always a little more Hart at heart, as in Larry Hart, Rodgers' first collaborator, who wrote The Lady is a Tramp, Ants Invading My Pants, and the devilish double entendre, Wish That You Were There Again to Get Into My Hair Again.
Last year, Shirley Jones shocked her Good Girl fans with an eponymous memoir spiced with sexual awakening and orgasmic experimentation, marital and otherwise. It's just been republished as a paperback by Gallery, Simon & Schuster, as Jones sings both Hart and Hammerstein and some other great standards in the intimate setting of Manhattan's posh Café Carlyle. And to talk about the show, the book, and her life on stage and off for Your Ears Only, Shirley Jones is on the line now. Welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Rodgers and then Hammerstein personally came to your audition for a chorus role in South Pacific, and we read that you were the only singer they ever had under personal contract.
That's right.
Did they ever say over the years what made you so special to them?
I have no idea. I really don't. I think I was so new and so young and so unaware of really what show business was about that they felt maybe they had to do that. And didn't want me working for anybody else at that time,
And how were they to work with once you got their names down?
They were wonderful, just wonderful. I mean, Hammerstein was a gem of a man. And Rodgers, too. They worked very well together. But Hammerstein truly made the decisions there.
In terms of lyrics, Hammerstein was mostly the high-minded one, while Hart was often more low down, and Rodgers' music with Hart was also lower, which you've said better suits your voice as you approach the age of 80 next month. Talk about how you come to terms with your changing voice and how you keep it in shape.
Well, it's not easy. Right now I have a bad cold, believe it or not, and I'm having a hard time. I haven't had a cold in years, and I got a cold when I got here. And last night I had trouble singing, but I have to tell you, the audiences here are so wonderful. And I can sing the low songs, I can sing the very high songs. The middle range is very, particularly with the cold, really terrible. But I told them that, and they were wonderful. They said, "You don't have to sing; just stand there."
Some say Rodgers' music also was simpler with Hart, more complex and with longer phrases with Hammerstein, maybe because his words came first. Do you notice that when you sing the songs of both together in a show?
Yeah, I think so. I think, Rodgers and Hart, it was a very different sound that they had together. Hammerstein was much more, Broadway. I think Hart was just all over the place, and I love both of them. I mean, I love their song. I love Rodgers and Hart.
We know about you as a sweetheart of movie musicals, but talk about how you got your Oscar-winning role as a prostitute in Elmer Gantry with Burt Lancaster, and how you got into that character.
Well, that was Burt's doing. Burt got me the job because, the director, Richard Brooks, did not want me. He wanted Piper Laurie, and he didn't want me at all. And, I can understand that because I hadn't done any dramatic things. And Burt saw me on a Playhouse 90 with Red Skelton called The Big Slide. And I played an alcoholic sunshine girl in the Mack Sennett era. And he decided that I was right for the part of Lulu Baines. And so that's how I got the part. And he fought for me. And as I tell the story, the first day that I had to shoot, I got no direction at all from Mr. Brooks. He just sat there. And I had the hardest scene I had to do in the film, which was, the scene in the House of Prostitution where I tell the ladies how I met Elmer Gantry. And he gave me no direction. And the next day I didn't have to shoot. And he saw my rushes of the day before. And he called me and he said, Shirley, I owe you an apology. Not only are you going to be great in this film, but I predict you're going to win an Academy Award.
How do you compare singing in a cabaret like the Café Carlyle with your work in theater, movies, concert halls, and TV?
Well, I haven't done much of this kind of work. You know, I played Feinstein's before it closed, and that was the first time I ever played a club like that and like this. And I wasn't sure, you know, that I would be able to do it or people would accept me doing it. And I find that I really love it. I love. It's like I'm in somebody's living room singing, you know, and it's a lovely feeling. And the people are so warm and open and right there. You know, I feel like I can sit down and have a conversation with each one of them.
And do you have a favorite song or show that you really prize?
Well, I love Carousel. It's my favorite music of all time. I think it's the most beautiful music that Richard Rodgers ever wrote. And he agreed with me. He thought it was his finest work. And I love that one.
Oscar-winning actress and singer Shirley Jones. Read all about her in Shirley Jones, a memoir just out in paper from Gallery Simon & Schuster. And hear an evening with Shirley Jones through March 15th at the Café Carlyle. That's 35 East 76th Street in New York.
Once you told me I was mistaken, that I'd awaken with the sun and order orange juice for one. It never entered my mind.
And this has been For Your Ears Only.